start off this vlog for you guys. This will be my June vlog and it's already June 9th. But I just haven't really had the chance to update you guys at all. I've done some B-roll and all that jazz, but I started a new book for this month and I'm continuing my random number generator picks a book. I think I'll do at least one or two of those each month so that I can go through my physical TBR that I have not yet completed. So the book that was chosen this time around was You by Caroline Kepnes. Now, I believe I have started reading this book a while ago. I think around the time that it was announced that You was becoming a show, or when You was already a show and I was interested in watching the show, and heard things this was everywhere on Booktube when it came out. So I was oh, I'll go grab it. I think I purchased this when I was working at Barnes & Noble, but I never finished it. And then I think I ended up watching the first season of You anyways and not finishing the book. So I am now finishing the book. I'm about a little under halfway. I found the audiobook on Everand. Lately, Everand has been really helpful with audiobooks because that just helps me get through the books faster that way. I'll read it while I'm doing stuff at home, or if I don't want to physically read a book and just have noise in the background that isn't music, I'll put the audiobook on. So I'm already on chapter 20 and it is a fast read. And I forgot, I think I initially realized why I put it down because the first couple chapters are really interesting because we're basically in Joe Goldberg's head this whole time and he's speaking to us as You, but he's talking about the main girl who's Guinevere Beck, and he's referencing her as You because Joe Goldberg is essentially a stalker. And so I was really creeped out by that. It is an interesting way of writing because a lot of people don't write in second person. So I feel like I've only read one other book that maybe was written this way, but I think that kind of creeped me out. And then I was listening to the audiobook and I was this is very creepy and very I don't like his viewpoint of Bex as a male stalker. And obviously we're not supposed to like him, so Caroline Kepnes has done a good job at that, but the way he talks about her and how she lives her daily life is really off-putting. So yeah, I do like it though. I am enjoying the writing of it, and it's I said, it's fairly fast-paced and it is pretty similar to the first season of the show, which is good. I like when adaptations are relatively close to the book. I think just some ordering of things have changed to make it more of a show structure, but overall it's pretty similar. I haven't really seen that many differences, and again, it's been a while since I've watched the first season of You, so I'm my memory can be not serving me well since I have watched it so long ago. And it's already done, the show's already done. It lasted 6 seasons, so it was relatively popular. And I actually think that the actor Dan Humphrey, he was also in Gossip Girl. Why can't I think of his name? I just recently finished all of Gossip Girl for the first time. I watched it growing up, but I never finished the final 2 seasons because I was really bored and out of it, and the last couple of seasons are trash, so I understand why I stopped watching that. But why can I think of his name? He has a podcast now, I believe. Oh my gosh, Penn Badgley. Hello. I was why can't I think of his name? Mr. Penn Badgley plays Joe Goldberg, and I think that was a really good casting decision because Joe Goldberg is really good at, Penn Badgley is really good at playing this kind of agitated, lonely boy, because I feel Dan Humphrey is kind of similar to Joe Goldberg in the fact that they're really pretentious. So yeah, and they kind of just hate everything about like the society they're in. Like they have very similar qualities. Yeah, it's funny too because Bex is also a Brown University graduate, and in Gossip Girl, Serena was supposed to go to Brown, but did not go to Brown. But it's on the East Coast, so like, Ivy League schools and all that. But he's kind of in a similar world that he was in Gossip Girl. So that's another reason why I think he was a good pick for Joe. I don't know why I call him Joel. But there is a second book of this, Hidden Bodies. I believe that's the second book of this series. Or maybe that's just another. Yeah, Hidden Bodies was the sequel to You. But I feel like she wrote that after the show like picked up and like had a lot of buzz, because Hidden Bodies was published on my birthday. Love that. Hello. That's cool. But I heard it's not as good as the first one, so I'm not sure if I'll pick that one up. But I think that one follows the second season of You, and I feel like she kind of wrote it to coincide with the season 2. So, like, I don't know if she initially intended to have a sequel, because this was, like, it wrapped up kind of nicely on its own. Or at least I remember season 1 wrapping up nicely. So we'll see if this wraps up the same way. And I don't know if I will go back into watching You, only because I didn't love season 2, because it was gross. It got extra, like, gross and gory, and I did not like that. So I liked the first season because he was being more of like a stalker and ends up being, a murderer. But spoiler, non-spoiler, and this is a relatively old book, and I feel like a lot of people have read this. Yeah, season 2 kind of took a turn for me, so I don't know if I will continue watching it after reading this. We'll see. But I just wanted to give you an update. This is what I'm currently reading. I'm taking a little break from my Hunger Games read. I watched Catching Fire as well as the 2 Mockingjay movies, so I'm all caught up in the movies. But I found the audiobook for Sunrise on the Reaping, so I'll listen to that eventually, probably after this. I just wanted a little break in between. And then I will watch Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes at some point, because it's on Stars apparently, so I can potentially watch that. But yeah, just wanted to let you know that I have started a new book, and it's a new month, and there's a lot going on in this month already. If people don't know, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in LA right now in terms of the ICE raids that are happening, and people in LA started a protest, which I am on the side of the protesters. So I just wanted to bring it up just so that you guys know that I'm aware of it. And I mean, it's literally not in the same neighborhood as me. The protests were happening in the Paramount area, which is in LA County. I don't know where Paramount is. I've actually never been there before, but I believe, okay, it's like around Compton area, like right next to Compton. So I don't really hang out around that area just because it's pretty far from where I am. Closer, it's not too far from Knott's Berry Farm. So yeah, but there are protests happening, and I'm on the side of the protesters and don't understand why the troops were brought there in the first place. But yeah, this is the world we're living in, so don't love it. Don't love who is in office right now. But yeah, just wanted to bring that up just because it is, in my surrounding area. I was not born in LA. I was born in the Bay Area, but they are also doing protests in the Bay Area. I've lived in the Bay Area for most of my life, but moved to LA for school, graduated, and I'm still here. So yes, that's what's happening. So I didn't really want to do any vlogging or anything this weekend. So I just took a break from that. So that's why. I mean, all of this is happening at once for you guys, and I probably won't post this until the end of the month. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know what's going on. Also wanted to let people know that all of these protests have started off peacefully before the troops were brought in. So yeah, I just don't understand it. But anywho's, I am still reading on the news and books about serial killers, which I don't read a lot of books like this. So I have to read this during the day because I am a little wimp. And it's also mainly because I just find him very creepy and very just weird. So it's not that it's scary, it's just like mind bendy a little bit. And I need to, like, I can't read this before bed. So yeah, I have to read it during the day, which is also why I am listening to the audiobook. So with all that being said, I will catch you guys later. I don't know when the next time I'll update you, but maybe once I make more progress. But so far, I am enjoying this book. It is very well written, so I'm liking that. And the characters are very interesting in this. So yes, I will catch you all later.
An obligatory drink at some fuckface bar packed with NYU kids who drink American beer out of buckets. You'd hate it here, but she loves it.
Hi everyone. So I wanted to give you an update on my reading because I finished You by Carolyn Kepnes. Now this week I've been working from home, so I was able to listen to the audiobook for most of it, and I have to listen to this during the day because it's not that it's scary, it's just a little creepy and it like has me on edge at some times. So I was like, there's no way I can read this before I go to bed. So I read it during the day, like when I was doing like emails and all that stuff. So it was really fast to listen to the audiobook, and I listened to it at like 1.8 speed, and it was kind of like the perfect speed because it wasn't too fast to where like I missed what they were saying because the narrator was like narrating relatively slow. But yeah, unfortunately, I did not love this book as much as people loved it on Booktube. And one of the main reasons is, so what happened with this is that I think I had started this a while ago, but did not finish it and ended up watching the first season of the show when we thought it was only going to be one season. So I was like, oh, I'll just, watch the first season, see how it is. And like, I definitely think I preferred the show over the book, to be honest, because I mean, it was relatively similar. Like, it didn't stray very differently from the book, which was like really nice. I think the only things that changed were like ordering of certain events and all that stuff. So, and it's been a while since I watched season 1, so I feel like there was another character that they added. I don't remember if they were in this, but I would have to like rewatch the show again because again, it's been a while since I've seen it. And I think I told you I didn't end up watching season 2 because I didn't like the direction it was going in. But yeah, the one issue I had with this book is that I just really did not like Joe. And I know that's the point. Like, he is not a likable character. He's literally a stalker. And spoiler, not spoiler, he ends up being a murderer and likes to keep people in this, like, in cage. And it's just the way he views people and, like, views women especially is just not, I did not like it. he reminded me so much, and it's not just because Penn Badgley played him, but he reminded me so much of Dan because in Gossip Girl, because a lot of what Dan didn't like was, how the rich lived in New York and how they viewed like him and like where his family was from. And he always felt like an outcast, even though he was like involved with a lot of those people. And that's kind of how Joe is like, and they have very similar personalities too. Like, he works at a bookstore and Dan was a writer, and like there's a lot of similarities. Like I feel like this is the adult version of Gossip Girl. And I read the first book of Gossip Girl, and that's very much of a teen, like young adult book. And this one leans more adult because there's a lot of, like, I would not be reading this as a young teen. So yeah, he kind of reminded me of like a darker Dan, if I'm gonna be honest. And I feel like I remember that like when I first started reading it, and I had put it down just because like it wasn't my cup of tea. But so while I liked, like with all that being said, while I liked the different writing style of like all being in second person, I honestly really didn't like it because he was so just like annoying and just like so pretentious, and I just really did not like him. And again, I know that's the point of this book. Like we're not supposed to like him, but it was just really like I almost would have liked it to have been in Beck's perspective versus Joe, just because like I don't need to be in the mind of essentially like a stalker and serial killer. Like I don't need to be in that mindset. I don't want to like be in like read it, because she says like you and like we're in Joe's head like this whole book, and I'm just like I did not like it. Did not like it at all. And he's just a creep. He's a creep. Like he ugh. And like there's so much stuff talking about like sex and like masturbation, and like because he would watch like Bex have sex and like masturbate, and like because she was essentially like an addict, pretty much. Like she I mean the way Joe described it sounded like she was an addict. And I was just like I don't want to hear this, like. And it was so funny. I was like, I had to turn down my, because I don't use headphones when I listen, like I was listening to it on my MacBook, and the walls in my apartment are like very thin. So I was like, I hope no one is hearing this. I was like, I had to turn it down because I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a little, like I didn't realize it was that graphic, because I'm trying to remember the show. Like I remember like when he was watching her like in her house, and like I remember them showing all of that, but like I don't remember it being graphic, because like to me graphic is like what they were doing in True Blood. Like that was like soft porn. True Blood was like soft porn. And I don't remember you being like that very much, like if I'm remembering it correctly. But this book was like, oh my god, like. And obviously, like, he's a guy, so, like, he's just really gonna, like, he's a creepy guy, and he's gonna talk about, like, you know, sex and, like, the way she makes him feel, and, like, so it's gonna be a lot of that. But I just did not like reading about it. And I was like, I really don't. So overall, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think she wrote this really well for what it is. I thought it was really well written. But again, I just, like, I'm so out of it because, like, I don't like the character, and I don't know why we're spending so much time in his head and how he views the world when he's literally, like, a serial killer. I think it's an interesting way of storytelling. There is a second book, and I don't know if I'll read it, because if it is in Joe's head again, I don't know if I, like, want to read that again. But yeah, so this was just okay to me. But with all that being said, this kind of inspired me, because I was like, oh, what's my like theme gonna be for this vlog? Like I was just gonna pick up random books and then read Sunrise on the Reaping. But I was like, oh, it'd be really fun to like read a couple of books that I remember being really popular on Booktube, like you being one of them, and seeing how I end up liking it. Because I was like perusing on Everand, and I was kind of in the mood to, like, after this one, I'm kind of like, oh, I kind of want to read like dark academia or like mystery type books, because I usually don't read those type of books like very often. for these reasons, and of like I have to read it during the day so I don't get freaked out. But I was like, oh, like I was just seeing what they had, and I found that they had If We Were Villains by ML Rio, I think is the author's name. And I remember that book being like super popular, everyone loving it. And I'm like, my past with dark academia has been like, there are some books that I really, really like and some books that I just did not like. Because again, they follow like very pretentious people and just, I don't care about their lives very often. So that kind of takes me out of the book. But I've heard really good things about this one, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll give it a shot, because I don't remember what it's about, but I just remember everyone loving it. And I just kind of want to see what I think about it, because this one like was just okay to me, but everyone was raving it when they were reading it on like at the time it came out, which was, I don't remember when it came out. I think, oh, I want to say it was like kind of right before COVID, maybe. Yeah, 2014. Oh, the book came out, but I can't remember when the show came out. I feel like it came out like around COVID, because I don't remember like, or like maybe a little bit before COVID, maybe like 2017, because they had 6 seasons. So that would make sense if it was like around 2017 when the show came out. But yeah, just didn't love it. So, but it sparked a new thing. And I'm glad to have it off my TBR, because this one, again, I've had on my TBR for a very long time. So this little challenge I'm doing of like reading from my physical TBR, like it's doing good so far. Doing good. So yes, unfortunate I didn't love it, but you know, mysteries aren't really something that I read very often, so I was kind of hesitant going in. I did like the show. I remember liking season 1 of the show. Like, I thought it was well, like, paced and well thought out and well written. I just did not like what was happening with season 2. So, yeah, I was like, I don't like this. Oh, and Peach is a hilarious character. She is so funny. And I was like, I remember in season 1 when she was like, because I had already known that she was not going to end up well in this book. So I was like anticipating like when her death was going to happen, or when Joe killed her, like when that was going to happen. And just like, oh boy. But her character was like really interesting. And I thought Shay Mitchell like did a good job at portraying her character. I thought the actors in that show were really good. Even like Penn Badgley, like he plays that character so well. He played him so well, and like I hope he gets the chance to like do another show, because I think he's a good actor, but he plays a lot of the same characters, so I feel like he's kind of typecasted. And but like the thing is, he goes into shows and they last a long time, so like, you know, he still makes a decent amount of money. So, and now he's got his like podcast thing going on. But anyways, I'm just yapping away. I had to get some matchas, and I feel like I'm finally waking up, because this morning was a bit rough waking up, and I'm getting hungry now, so it is lunchtime. But I will update you once I start reading If We Were Villains. So goodbye. but so I wanted to wrap up this vlog because I realized I have not done that yet, and apologies about that. It's been a pretty busy like start to the year, or start to the month of July, which can't believe we have made it to July in this crazy year that it's been. But yeah, we are in July. I'm so late on finishing this vlog for June. But yeah, I was debating whether or not I'm posting this because like I didn't do a lot in June, so it wasn't really an exciting month. I did get some reading done, but not as much as like I have in the past, but also like there's just so much going on in June, like in the area that I'm in, so my headspace was not in the best headspace, and just, you know, life things and health things that I need to figure out. So all that being said, I did get 2 books finished in June, and I mean technically I finished Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes like the 1st of June, but I'm counting that as May because I read the majority of it throughout May. So the 2 books that I read in June were, of course, You, which I kept you updated on throughout the month whenever I could, and I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars, or like 3.5 out of 5 stars, I can't remember. But I thought the writing was really good. Like I thought Caroline Kepnes's writing style was really interesting in this book because she writes in second person and we're in the head of Joe Goldberg. But I just don't like Joe Goldberg and don't want to be in that mindset of a serial killer. So yeah, I just didn't love his voices and like opinions on things, and like particularly women, and I just, yeah, he's a creep. So that is what we got. But I did enjoy it, and I feel like it was pretty close to the first season, which I did appreciate. So I watched it so long ago, so there might have been some changes that I don't remember, but for the most part, I feel like all the major like events that were in the book were in the show. So yeah, can't speak about Hidden Bodies because I could not get through season 2, so I kind of just stopped with season 2 because it just got even more gross. So yeah, that was not for me. But I thought the characters were interesting in this. It was just I didn't like being in Joe's head. So that is my opinion on that. And then I also read If We Were Villains by ML Rio, which I'll put the photo here for you guys. But I actually really liked that book. So I decided to read that book because after reading this, I was like, oh, I'm kind of in the mood for like a dark academia mystery situation. And I heard really good things about that book as well. So I was like, oh, I'll kind of make this like a reading popular books on Booktube vlog. So read this and then read If We Were Villains right after. I read the ebook for it because I don't own it. But I really like that book. I thought the atmosphere was great. I thought the characters were really interesting. Some of the dialogue was like okay to me, but it was like a much younger target audience than like You was. So I'm not really reading a lot of YA because of the dialogue. So yeah, I just like it reads too young for me. So I'm kind of staying away from YA. There are a lot of YA books though that I have on my unread TBR, so that is gonna be an issue. So yeah, but gave that a 5 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I thought it was really interesting how they like wrote the book in like a play format. Both of these books were actually written in an interesting format. So they're like, for If We Were Villains, they were doing a Shakespeare play, this group of people, and the book was written as if it was written as like a play. So there was like act breaks, there was scene breaks. So that was really cool. And I thought it was interesting that both of these books kind of had different and unique writing styles. So I really liked that aspect of it. And yeah, I was just intrigued by the mystery in it and just super enthralled by the whole situation. So gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I feel like I've been picky with my ratings this year. So I'm kind of changing that a little bit because I haven't given out a lot of 5 out of 5 stars there's been a lot of 4 stars, but not like 5 stars. So this one, I like enjoyed it, like pretty much for the most part, except the dialogue. That was like the only issue that I really had. And it was just certain characters that kind of bothered me, but overall, like, it wasn't enough for me to make it like a 4 out of 5 stars. So I ended up giving 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, I didn't update too much on that book just because I was like really captivated and like interested in reading it like on my own, and I kind of was just like really into it and kind of just breezed through it. So I didn't really update on that book as much. So this is going to be a weird vlog. I don't know how exciting it's going to be, but I was like, I'll just finish editing it and just put it up and see what happens. I don't get a lot of views on this channel because it is a new channel, so like we'll see what happens. And then, again, I wasn't going anywhere. There weren't any concerts in June, so June was like a pretty chill month. And then I was also just dealing with other stuff because there was a lot going on in LA during that month, and then also just like my health was not the best, so, and I was trying to figure that out. And it's all like stomach related issues that you don't want to hear about, so I'm not going to tell you about that stuff. Everything's like fine. I just needed to figure out like what was going on. And we seem to have come to a conclusion. So, yeah, I think that's all that I wanted to update you on those books. So, I mean, it was pretty good reading month. Like, I'm glad I finally read this because I think I mentioned before, like, I had started this a while back, but then put a pause on it because I was not in the mood to read it, and finally got to it. Will I ever continue you? I don't think so, because there's 6 seasons, so like I don't know if I have the time or the energy to watch that, especially because I don't like Joe. So there's that. But I am still continuing like random number generator picks at least one book that I'm gonna read for the month. And so I did that over the weekend, and this was the book that was chosen. So it's Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. It's a nonfiction biography about Bryan Stevenson, who was a lawyer, and he was mainly a lawyer for like death row candidates. So it's really interesting, and it's taken place in the South. And I've watched the movie. The movie has Michael B. Jordan. I watched that before. Really liked the movie, but that was like years and years and years ago. So I feel like it's been enough time to where I'm not going to remember every single detail so that I could read this. I don't read a lot of nonfiction, but this actually reads kind of like a fiction. It's obviously all in Bryan Stevenson's perspective, but he kind of writes it as he's like telling a story and just going through all the trials and stuff he was put on. And like it starts from when he is like an intern. So yeah, it's very interesting, and it's going to be, you know, a lot about like the judicial system and how death row is horrible. So this will be a learning read as well as an interesting one, and it's relatively short, but the text is fairly small, so they're like Bible pages, so very small. So that is what I'm currently reading. I'm still trying to see if some books are gonna pop up on Everand for me, because I ended up paying for the like premium subscription or something so that I can get more books, because I feel like the one that I was on, like they changed some of the things. So I was like, oh, it's worth it for me to get the premium because I do use it a lot. So because I'm not buying as many books, so it's a lot cheaper if I do this versus like buying books. So, and I'm running out of space to buy books. So yes, anyway, so that is what's happening. I don't know how much I'm gonna vlog in July, only because I'm going on vacation next week and I'm probably not gonna be doing much on vacation, to be honest. I'm just gonna use that as resting, hanging out with some friends, family, and stuff like that. I'm going back home for vacation, so happy to be back in a cooler area because it's starting to get really hot in LA, especially where I am. It's just like, it's so hot here. I hate it. So it'll be nice to be like in a cooler spot. I might just hang out with family who live in San Francisco because it's a little cooler out there too. So, and I might just do random stuff. I don't know what I'll do. We'll see. Maybe I'll take like go on adventures or something because my friends still work during the week. So like, it's going to be hard to see them during the week unless we do like dinner or something. So I might do some adventures. Maybe I'll have my car with me, so it'll be easier to do that. But yeah, I think that is everything. I hope you enjoy this vlog. Hopefully it's not too boring for you guys. I'm still trying to figure out my rhythm of vlogging and like what kind of style I want to do with vlogging. So yeah, and this is going to be mainly a vlogging channel. I'm still working on my other YouTube right now. I'm gonna take a break on that channel just because I'm kind of mad. I feel like my views have been getting relatively low and I don't know why that is. I'm trying to figure that out. I think I'm gonna take a break from that channel just because it was really busy. It was a really busy May and June in terms of like K-pop comebacks. So all of my groups decided to have comebacks all at the same time. So I had a lot. There's only a couple of groups for July that I follow that will have comebacks. I'm still debating if I'm gonna react to those or just watch those on my own, mainly because I think I just need a break. I just need a little bit of a break. Just for personal reasons. It has nothing to do really with like the followers or like the commenters because they've been relatively nice actually. Like my commenters have been pretty nice because I am a smaller channel, so like I don't have a wide range of ages or commenters and stuff like that. Like every once in a while they'll chime in if I like say something wrong, but it's not like super bad. I just like explain as to, because sometimes I feel like it's more of a misunderstanding than anything. Anyways, but that's not why we're here. I'm just thinking through things. But yeah, there will be stuff happening in August because I have a lot of concerts happening in August. So there will be things happening, more exciting things. I don't really do a lot of things in the summer, to be honest, because here in the summer, it's hot. It's like, it's really hot. I don't do well in the heat. So it's just not my thing. Like, and the beaches haven't been that great here because there's like some weird bacteria going on in the beaches now. So like, I don't even want to go to the beaches. So I don't do a lot in the summer unless it's concerts, if I'm gonna be honest. And I just don't like going out and spending money on drinks and food. So I am a homebody in the summertime. When normally people are homebodies in the fall, I'm a homebody in the summertime. That's my homebody space, but more time to read and watch content. So yes, I'm gonna close that here. I hope you enjoy this. I would love to know how your summer's going, if you guys are going on any trips or anything, how your reading's going, if you have any recommendations. I haven't really been keeping up with new releases. I know V. Schwab came out with a book, who is like one of my favorite authors, which I didn't know until like someone who I follow spoke about it. Because usually she will like pop up for me, but she has not. And I don't know why, because she's like my favorite author. So I did not know she had a new book out. I'm not gonna buy it right now because it is pretty pricey because it's a hardback. So I'm gonna wait till the paperback comes out, or if it comes out on ebook, that would be even better, since I'm trying not to buy physical books or physical albums. I'm like on a buying ban right now for myself. So only necessities and concerts. But yes, anyways, I'm gonna stop blabbering away and end this vlog. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.